Conspiracy theories about the New World Order abound on the internet. And regardless of where you stand on the debate, either you think that this idea of a shadowy government above head of states with a global agenda is complete bullshit and is unsophisticated, or you think that this is happening behind closed doors. Well, now we have a brand new interview that we found at the Anti-Media. Jake Anderson sat down and interviewed former Republican congressional aide Mike Lofgren, and he defined this collusion, this symbiosis between government, Wall Street, and Silicon Valley as the deep state, Nick. And this is crazy. It's not a new concept, but at the heart of it, there's this idea of a connection, of a revolving door that financial corporations, Wall Street, offer to those who are in office, elected and not elected, to follow certain directives when they are making policy, and then they promise investments, retirement, and other beautiful things for them just to follow the rule. And this, we've been warned of this back in the day, in the 50s. Eisenhower came out and said, we have to be vigilant of the industrial military complex. Well, now we're facing the offspring, this hybrid new collusion in between, first of all, the newest tech companies that are in charge of many things that used to be a duty of the government.
Yeah, no, true. I mean, look, I'm not one to get caught up on all sorts of conspiracy theories. I'm not going to sit here and talk about how Jay-Z and Beyonce are the Illuminati and they're reptilians and they're going to take over the world. We're not going to go there. But this kind of thing, though, there's proof. And while you mentioned that, this isn't a new idea for a lot of people, there's concrete proof. And it's very simple. I mean, look, Wall Street, the federal government, they suck money out from the economy for their own reasons, whether it's military or not. And that ends up throwing many people into poverty, puts a lot of people on food stamps. A lot of people get locked up because of the certain system that we're in. So there's proof here, and it's not something ridiculous that we're just making up, or we're going to fold the dollar bill somewhere and say, oh, it's all a conspiracy theory. There's proof here, and it's happening, and I think it's obvious.
I mean, it's a complex web of revolving doors. You see that now up to 70% of the budget that exists for intelligence work is actually outsourced to tech companies. So now we know that most of the surveillance is done by corporations that in exchange with the government, they keep our data, they offer them the surveillance, and they have a revolving door where everything gets quiet. Now we're facing some agreements in the future that will make this even more dangerous, even more real. The fact that we are negotiating tomorrow on late on the month, they're going to be meeting in Seattle to finalize one of the last steps of the TPP, this trade agreement that allows corporations to sometimes have more power than even the local constitutions of the countries. We are going to see that that's the beginning of the end, because now, here in Congress, your vote, the people that you elect to take care of your needs, is going to be relevant. With now the fast-track authority that will allow President Obama to pass this TPP with a yes or no vote without Congress members the right to review the agreement. I think that's very dangerous, and I think this is exactly what they are talking about. The fact that corporations offering the elected politicians a retirement plan, they have their interest at the heart of any new policy that is going to be developed, and that's very, very dangerous.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. You mentioned 70% of our intelligence is going to private contractors. Yeah. I mean, that is so much money given by the federal government for intelligence purposes, all these secretive things, but I feel like that's important because most of us don't know that. Most people don't know how much money is being spent on this, and I think it's important for everyone to know where a lot of hard-earned taxpayer money is really going.
And Wall Street is an ideal foundation for this deep state concept, because with the unlimited amount of resources and the unlimited amount of money that they can throw and support, whatever they can and whatever they fund is possible. But also, we do see that there are some politicians out there that are awakened to this concept. We have Bernie Sanders. But it's not only Bernie Sanders. It's also libertarians, the Tea Party. Both sides of the aisle, they are fighting to wake up to the fact that corporations and the military-industrial complex and the private prison complex, they are winning the battle of control. Now, we see that the president of China comes to the United States, and the first visit that he does as an official act is not the president, but is the top tech moguls in Silicon Valley. That has to be food for thought for all of us, of how important is the role of these tech companies in our life and how joint they are to the policymakers.
Cyber attacks was the main issue there. So I'm pretty sure that's also why he wanted to meet with a lot of tech giants too, because cyber attack was definitely on the agenda of things that they really needed to address.
Exactly. So for for you to think it really doesn't matter what president in which country gets elected, as long as there is this revolving door in between Wall Street and the players that actually make the policy to keep this interest rolling and the ball rolling till it's unstoppable. Let us know your thoughts below, and if you haven't, please subscribe to the Lib TV 2.